Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bear Beer Reviews one more time. Today is the most glorious and sunny day of the entire year. It's 18 to 20 degrees outside. Absolutely glorious and fantastic. And I was looking at the beers that I had to review and I thought I need something light, I need something cold, I need something refreshing. And my eyes came across the Camden Town Brewery's Hefeweizen wheat beer. Hefeweizen wheat beer is a German style. It was originally brewed by a monk, I believe, who by accident, or maybe not, used yeast from a banana and popped it into a kind of wheat-based beer. Gave it a really light and refreshing, obviously with a bit of banana, but a spicy banana and clove kind of flavour. And it's one of the first beers, or maybe even the first beer to break the German beer purity law, the Reinheitsgebot, I think it is. Reinheitsgebot. Anyway, the German beer purity laws, and that was specifically because the nobility kind of wanted to exploit the fact that this is a really fantastic beer style. Obviously, it's brewed with mostly wheat. It has also got Munich, Carolite, Pale Ale and Roast Malts, and it's a Hallertauer traditional hops inside of it. Just look at the bottle though from Camden Town. How funky and stylistic is that? It's like a 1940s style postering on it. I mean, it's really awesome. I really love it. And a little bit about how you drink this beer. You spin it and you shake it a little bit before you're doing it, because Hefeweizen beers are unfiltered, so all the yeast and the sediment's still inside of that, I believe. Yeah, there's a ton. I mean, it's like almost like a wave of kind of sediment and bits and bobs kind of wafting around inside. So, without further ado, let us crack open the Hefeweizen beer. Camden Town are a relatively new brewery, I might add as well. Only started brewing in 2010. Oh, failure at getting that tap off. 2010, based in Camden. You can go visit them. They are literally just off the main high street where all the markets and the like are. Get this little pour out. I'm using a new glass today that I got when I was at the Black Sheep Brewery. It's a nice titchy little fella. It's pretty cool though. Look at that. Well, that pours heck of a lot darker than I thought it was going to be. Most wheat beers I've ever seen are much lighter than this, so this has probably got a lot more malt body presence than many of the others. I'll let you have a look at the glass as well. If I turn it around, can you see the little blacky sheep on it? Little black sheep, and on the bottom it says Great Yorkshire Beer, which indeed it is, and I shall do a review of a couple of their beers in a few reviews time. I've got quite a lot of beers to go through right now anyway. So anyway, that's a hell of a lot darker. It's also quite a lot clearer than most Hefeweizen beers, and I did give it a good shake as well, so I don't know why. Oopsie daisy, get a little bit more in there. So I'm not entirely sure why, but that's fine. We can give it a try like so. Let's give our nose a little shove in. It's also not about as much head as I'm kind of used to when it comes to Hefeweizen beers. Although very, very, very traditional smelling. It's got the banana-y flavours, that's for sure. Banana-y and fruity flavours, and spiciness on the palate as well. A lovely, lovely floral aromas coming from that yeast. It smells like it's just going to be so palate quenchingly good, and really quite interested. The colour really is enticing me. It's actually gone a lot cloudier now. Actually, having poured it out a second time, a lot less see-through. The first time I could see the camera through it, but I can't see a thing now. It's cloudy as heck. So maybe it was just I didn't give it enough shake to get all the sediment out. Okay, without further ado, let's shove our mouths in, give it a taste. Cheers. Oh yeah. Straight up, just spicy, lovely spicy, light body. Lovely fruity edge as well. Definitely banana flavoured. Definitely, it just kind of that wonderful, unctuous, just sweet wetness, and it's fantastic. Loads of spice in it. I mean a ton of spice as well. And you know, the most predominant flavour is the spiciness in it, but also a nice malty presence coming out the back as well, which is a little bit more unique than most Hefeweizen beers I've tried, because they tend to be quite weak on anything other than the wheaty, yeasty taste. This one's got a nice little biscuity flavour coming out the back end as well, almost kind of like a banana biscuit instead, you know, one of those banana rusks that you feed your babies. That's, it's quite a nice, pleasant surprise. A little bit of an alternative take on a very traditional Hefeweizen, and this is brewed by Camden, Camden Town Brewery, so it's an English brewing company. They've clearly just kind of taken a little bit of a leaf out of book of a traditional English ale, malt body first, and shoved that into a very traditional German style instead. And I like that. The kind of lasting flavour as well is that biscuity malt as well, as opposed to the kind of spiciness, the wheaty spiciness. It's quite medium bodied as well. A little bit heavier. A little bit heavier than I was expecting again, but I assume that's probably malt body presence too. And anyway, Hefeweizens are an ale as opposed to a German style lager, so that they're going to be quite a bit thicker. But there's a nice kind of chunky-ish mouthfeel, not obviously thick and tarry and gloopy. It's very nice and flows down well. Nice, very gentle carbonation on the tongue. You can probably see that there isn't much carbonation going on in the glass. That there isn't, and that's fine. I thought there might be, especially if you go to your local bar or pub and you get a glass of something like Erdinger. There's loads of carbonation fizzing everywhere. This one's much less so, but still in the mouth there is nice, fine, bubbly, fizzy flavours going on, and it feels very wet. There isn't a huge amount of bitterness. It's more spiciness coming through. So, in that respect, it's fantastically refreshing. Just get the last little bit out of the bottle as well. It might look really small, this, but it's apparently it's a half pint glass, but it's failing miserably at keeping 330 ml in it, which is obviously more than half a pint, but still I thought I'd be able to get a bit more in. So one last try with the dregs of the bottle. Yeah, I think I've pretty much dragged it as much as I can. There's perhaps a little bit of a floral note as well from the yeast used and from the wheat, but predominantly there is a straight up front spicy and banana-y flavour, a little bit of a floral yeast flavour, and then a nice kind of maltiness I just feel comes out the back end there. A nice little body of just something extra that kind of has taken it from being really light and refreshing to something a little bit darker and a little bit more flavour going on, and a little don't want to say less drinkable, a little more flavours and character, something I'd sip a little bit more than a good German lager. I wouldn't drink a cheap crappy lager, but so past them. But it's got a little bit more depth and heaviness to it than a normal lager, and a hell of a lot more flavour because of the wheat and the special yeasts that they use in Hefeweizen beers. So I really like this. This is a really nice beer, and it's corking. It's corking on a nice warm day like today. He said sat inside his office, but I thought I'd better come inside because the lighting outside is absolutely blinding. So go out and give them a try. This is a real pleasure. This Camden Town Brewery have got this fantastic, absolutely state-of-the-art, hyper-modern brewery. They can tweak and turn and dial in everything they like on their systems to produce beers to kind of precision standards, which is a completely opposite way that beers produced at the Brass Castle Brewery. It's a lot more hands-on, a lot more artisanal in the sense of we have to kind of weigh things out ourselves and get times right. And when things go wrong, you have to work out where it's gone wrong and so on and so forth. But it's a different style of brewing, and it's proving dividends if you can completely control and craft something perfectly as you'd like it. It's really it may be the way forward. And it's one side of that kind of whole debate about artisanal and craft beers. And maybe I'll do a little video on them sometime soon. But stick around, stay tuned. As you can tell from the Black Sheep glass, and as I said earlier, I've got some Black Sheep beers to be bringing along to the party. I have got an Imperial Russian Stout that they've released on limited edition basis. So got that straight from the horse's mouth, so to say, and also got one of their 20th anniversary beers called Progression, which is their Black Sheep Ale single hop ale, but done at 10%. So it's going to have tons and tons of alcoholic flavours and a lot more. I'd assume a lot more body to it, and that's going to be really interesting. That's a one of a kind beer, and producing a one-off run. So stick around, stay tuned, like, favourite, subscribe, and everything. And this is Bear saying goodbye.